Well, I don't know what to do anymore. The Mavs traded Luka for no reason, for peanuts. It seems like they're trying to
Let me tell you
tank.
why I love
We went
KG and
from
what
a
he stands
finals
for.
team
The man can find a positive in
to a play-in slash bottom of the conference team in like one trade. I mean, we're not going to be bottom of the conference, but in the next 2 years, we probably will be because Kyrie will opt out, AD will be injured, and then his contract will be up, and then we'll have nobody. PJ will be gone. I guess maybe we'll still have Lively. I don't know. Maybe we'll trade him too. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what the idea was there. Yeah, I'm probably not watching many more Mavs games. It's like there's just no point to watch any Mavs games at this point. Um, Seems like the ownership doesn't really care about the team. So we'll see. Um, yeah, hope Luka does well on the Lakers. I don't know how he's gonna do though, because honestly, I mean, Luka's defense is okay if he's in a good system and he's trying hard, like he was in the playoffs last year and in the second half of last season. But he's been injured, which means effort's going to be harder to come by. And we know LeBron doesn't put any effort on defense because he's 40 years old. And we know Austin Reeves is a liability. So I don't know. Like, they can score 130 points a game, but if the other team's scoring 140, I don't know if that's going to make a difference. But I hope he does well. I hope he gets healthy. I hope he comes back to Dallas and drops 50 on the Mavs. But we'll see. Yeah, it's weird, when you've been a fan of a team for so long, and then in one moment you're like, well, I guess that's it. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird place to be in, but we'll try and work through it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what they were thinking. I think the only way ownership looks good in this scenario, the only way the GM looks good in this scenario is A, if we win a title this season, which is not going to happen. But if the Mavs win a title this season, they can justify it maybe. But even then, you would make the argument they would have won with Luka even easier because Luka's better than AD. The other way is if Luka's injuries and health stuff is so bad that he never plays more than 40 games a season for the rest of his career and signs a $250 million contract in a year and a half and yet still never plays more than 40 games a season, never makes another All NBA, never makes another All Star game, and his team and never wins a title. Then you would say, and then AD, I guess, would have to like have some deep playoff runs in the next 2 years, 3 years. Then you would say, okay, that was a good trade or that was a decent trade. If that doesn't happen, then it's a bad trade. Because and even then, even if that happens, it's a bad trade because if you put Luka on the market, you would get way more than what they got from the Lakers, and that's what makes all of this just so fishy. Is the fact that they got one pick, and then we look at the Fox trade, and you're looking at the number of picks flying in the De'Aaron Fox trade, literally like the next day, and you're like, whoa, that's a lot of picks, and you see like Mikal Bridges like 6 picks, and or whatever, and it's just like Rudy Gobert is getting like 5 picks, and Anthony Davis gets one, or Luka gets one, combined with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is not one first round pick away from Luka Doncic in like skill level or impact. Like that nobody believes that. No, nobody in their right mind. I mean, even the ages being 5, 6 years different, I mean, makes it so that yeah, there have to be, I mean, picks just seem to be getting thrown around in the league these days for everything. I mean, the Mavs, when they traded for Kyrie, we have none of our picks for the next like 6 years because of our Kyrie trade. And then like we got Washington and Gafford, and we've got so many guys that we've had to trade for. We have like no picks, and all we got was one pick. That's wild. That's wild to me. To get one pick, I feel like you would have asked for 20 picks. I mean, it's Luka, right? But the fact that you go to one team and only one team, you do it behind everyone's back. You don't get another team involved to try and help up the offer. And again, you can say, oh, well, salaries. Okay, salaries and whatever. yeah, like why didn't we get Reeves? Why didn't we get Connect or like something else? Oh well, salaries and all that. Okay, okay, that's fine. But picks don't matter. You could get as many picks as you want, and so part of that is just like okay, this is setting up. I mean, part of me is like, does Kyrie opt out at the end of this season and just go to LA for like the minimum? I mean, maybe. I mean, it seems like Nico Harrison's got something on his mind. He's got something that he's planning. Him and Kyrie have been big buds at Nike, and him and LeBron have been big buds at Nike. And so maybe this is a whole thing of, well, we want Luka too. And then Kyrie opts out at the end of the season, goes to LA for the minimum. You get Kyrie, LeBron, and Luka for one season before LeBron retires, going for a championship. I think that would be the worst team. That would like the absolute zero defense, everybody wanting the ball of that team would just not work. But I don't know, maybe that happens. I don't know. There's just so many conspiracies that can get thrown around. Maybe the owners are trying to tank the team to move them to Vegas. Seems like probably one of the more likely conspiracies because they wanted to build a casino and a new stadium in downtown Dallas and like a casino like complex, which was kind of weird because gambling's illegal in Texas, and there's really no like indication that that's going to change. Um, so I don't know what they thought they were thinking with that when they bought the team and started these plans and talking about this. Like, no, it's probably not going to happen for another while in Texas. So now they're like, oh shoot, we bought this team. We thought the winds were changing in Texas. We thought gambling was going to be legal. Now it's not. Well, we got to go to Vegas where we have all our casinos already, and we can build a massive stadium, casino, hotel combo, monstrosity on the Vegas Strip. And suddenly Vegas goes from having no sports teams to having a hockey team, a football team, a baseball team, and a basketball team within like what 10 years, 8 years. I mean that's just crazy. I mean, yeah, in the end, I think it all does come down to money. Luka was going to be eligible for $345 million in a year and a half. And maybe these new guys didn't want to pay that, seeing all his health issues, seeing what's going on with Zion. They're like, we don't want to be on the hook for $345 million to a guy who's not going to play. Um, okay, fair enough, but you could have done this next season then. If you're saying, well, we don't want to be over the luxury tax with Luka and Kyrie, because if Kyrie opts in this season, and whatnot, okay, that's fine. But then just wait a year, and then before it kicks in at the end of next season, then you can trade him for whatever you want. Maybe they thought, oh, his health issues are going to be so bad for the next year, we won't get anything for him. I don't think that's true. People will pay for potential. People will overpay for. I mean, that's why Zion has money, even though he was always like has his $200 million contract, even though he's been injured his whole career. Um, so yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's wild. It's crazy, but yeah, no, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, there's almost nothing that can redeem this trade other than Luka being absolutely like finished as a player, basically physically, which is a possibility. I hope it's not true. I like Luka. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a really good player. I mean, we drafted him. I mean, Maxi Kleber we also drafted and brought in, and we've had him his whole career in Dallas. And so seeing both of them go is kind of sad because now they were both I mean, Maxi was the longest tenured. I guess Maxi and Dwight Powell are probably two of the longest tenured Mavs that we have now. Dwight Powell's kind of the only one. Everyone else has come in the last, 2-3 years. And so there's really like no continuity with this team. So, yeah, I don't know. A little bit of a wait and see moment, but I mean, yeah, a lot. What I've been seeing, a lot of fans canceling all their subscriptions to Mavs TV, canceling season tickets, throwing jerseys on the ground in front of the stadium, all that sort of stuff. Everyone's not happy. So, um, yeah, I mean, unless they like win a title, I don't see a lot of that coming back. And even so, I mean, I don't know. It's part of you'd always just rather win with your guys than than lose with, you'd rather lose with your guys than win with somebody else. Um, especially when a guy's been on your team for 7 years. And also Dallas is used to used to Dirk in that longevity of a career. Like we had 20 years of the same guy. Now we've had 7 years of the same guy. And you just kind of get used to, we have one guy in our life for a long period of time. And then it's just gone like that for no reason. Again, I say for no reason. Maybe the reasons will come out, but we'll see. Wait and see. But until then, I'm not really too interested in watching the Mavs. I mean, I'll follow some NBA here and there, but rather just hop into a game from 2010 here, back when the league was still good, back when loyalty was a thing and owners weren't stupid. So